Hello and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation with me, your host Owen, guys. Welcome on back to the channel where we've obviously just been watching Rangers against St Mirren at St Mirren. Obviously, we finished St Mirren 0, Rangers 3, the final game of what has been a not great season for the club. And as Michael Beale said in his press conference yesterday, good riddance to this season. Obviously, Rangers coming away without a trophy this season, which is not the way this club should be. Obviously, we also said goodbye as well to 5 stars. But the game today did a job out there. Not a terrible performance, not an outstanding performance, a good performance from the club. Overall, went to St Mirren, got the job done. Performed admirably. Some players obviously emerging with more credit than others. I thought that John Souttar and John Lundstrom were very good in central defence. Both of them solid at the back, both of them battling, both of them good distribution. Both of them came out from the back as well, very well, and started attacks off pretty fine as well. So overall, really pleased with Lundstrom and Souttar. Lundstrom in particular, obviously playing at centre-back, not his natural position, obviously more a central defensive midfield player or a central midfield player. Is that a bit of a hint as to where we might see him being used next season? Particularly obviously near the end of the game when Leon King came on and we went to 3 at the back with Lundstrom, Souttar and King as the back 3. Obviously, yes, we do have Connor Goldson to come back into the team, the guy who is currently out with 10 weeks. Rangers started well, created a fair few chances, and I thought, at the start of that first half, we really did see what Michael Beale was talking about yesterday when he talked about a need to have be more clinical in the final third. There was a number of crosses in, I think, from Sakala, from Matondo, from Tavernier, that shot straight across the face of the goal. And again, nobody in there, no central striker, no number 9 in there to finish them off. And Rangers could well have, had that lead up to 3, maybe 4 by half time with a more clinical finisher up front. But as we know, obviously it finished 3-0 anyway, with obviously Fashion Sakala scoring the first goal and the second just after half time. Typical sort of Rangers, isn't it? We kind of come out after half time and kind of at that point we improve. And then obviously Antonio Colak coming on and getting the third. Fashion Sakala's first goal, again, he cut in from the left-hand side, ran across the penalty area, went to shoot, keeper dived one way, defender dived another way. The shot went under the defender and into the back of the net to give Rangers that 1-0 lead. A good finish after a good dribble and finish by Sakala. A bit of good intuitive play by Fashion, and I thought Fashion had quite a good game today. He was dangerous on the break. He was dangerous with his speed. His control seemed a lot better today. He seemed a lot more focused and a lot more on it today than he was on Wednesday night. Then obviously the second goal by Fashion Sakala again, and the run and finish by Fashion with a fine finish in the 48th minute. Goal coming quite quickly after half time, just as it did Wednesday night. Another good finish by Fashion. And then obviously, a game that kind of went into a lull, didn't it? St Mirren tried to come back into the game, couldn't. I thought Curtis Main, their player, was very lucky to stay on the field. I thought he was a dirty so-and-so. That late hit on McCrory, and a number of times he went up with a swinging arm, catching John Souttar in the face. But the referee, once he'd booked Main, refused to do anything else about him. Very young referee today, a 30-year-old referee who did seem to struggle with the game, in my opinion. Rangers made 4 changes, then bringing on the likes of Arfield, Colak, Borna Barisic and Adam Devine, taking off obviously Tav and Ridvan and Hadji. But we came on and it was Antonio Colak who got the third goal. A fantastically worked corner routine. Todd Cantwell with the corner. Obviously, interesting to see someone else taking a corner. It's usually Tav that takes those corners, with Tav not on the pitch. Obviously, it fell to Todd Cantwell, driven over, header flicked in by Raskin. There was Colak just in front of the goalkeeper to get his head onto it and to head it into the back of the net. Antonio Colak's stats now looking fairly impressive for his first season, especially given the fact that he was obviously out for a large proportion of the season with injury. 25 league games in the Scottish Premier League with 14 goals and an assist, 15 goal contributions in 25, pretty decent. Scottish League Cup 1 appearance and 10 games in the Champions League, scoring 3 goals. So giving him overall 36 appearances, 17 goals, 1 assist. That's 18 goal contributions in 36 games. So what, 2 games, 1 goal contribution, which is pretty good indeed. And I think Colak making a bit of a case to be retained by Rangers next season. Do I think he should be a starter? Probably not, but he certainly should be someone that comes in off the bench, as we saw today, and makes an impact for the club. So it was great to have him back from injury, great to have him back on the field. Fashion obviously started well. The formation in the first half seemed very fluid to me. We seemed to be playing more with a false 9, with Cantwell sometimes drifting in there, Hadji sometimes drifting in there, Fashion sometimes drifting in there. And, it was a very, very strange, shall we say, performance indeed in terms of who was playing up front. It was only when Antonio Colak came on in the second half that we did that. Fashion Sakala, like I said, with 2 goals, I thought played very well indeed today, had a very good performance. Fashion, who's had some criticism, including from myself this year, I thought played well today. Certainly, I think showed that perhaps he is good enough to stay as at least a squad player for next season. Fashions obviously has excellent stats as well this season, contributing exceptionally well to Rangers' season, even though it was a poor season for them. 29 games in the Scottish Premier League, 12 goals, 7 assists. So that's 19 goal contributions in 29 games, which is pretty impressive. Scottish League Cup, 4 appearances, no goals. UEFA Champions League, 5 appearances, no goals. And the Scottish League Cup there with, again, no contributions. But, 19 goal contributions in 29 league games is pretty decent by Fashion Sakala. So, a good season in terms of numbers. Yes, I think he is still very raw. Yes, I do think that he is a player that perhaps is not up to being a starter. But certainly, I think someone who could be a squad player who could come on and have an impact. One thing I will say about Fashion, he did not seem happy at being taken off today. He wanted to stay on and try and get that hat-trick, so it seemed. In terms of game stats, 8 shots from St Mirren, 9 for Rangers, 3 shots on target by Rangers, 1 by St Mirren. Rangers winning the possession battle, 70% to 30%. Rangers, 589 passes to St Mirren's 249. Rangers pass accuracy, 89%. The highest it was in the game was at half-time when it was 91. 72% from St Mirren. St Mirren, 10 fouls, Rangers 11. 2 yellow cards for St Mirren. Lucky it was only 2, in my opinion. 1 for Rangers. No red cards in the game. I think even easily we could have had one of the St Mirren players at very least sent off. 1 offside by St Mirren, 2 offsides by Rangers. 5 corners to St Mirren, 3 to Rangers. A perfect, I think it's what Michael Beale wanted. It was a positive way to end the season. A decent performance to take us into the summer. Slight downside, obviously, I think, we didn't see some of the youngsters get a role. Would have loved to have seen Bailey Rice have a run out today. That would have been nice, I think, to get Rice on the field. Scotty Arfield made his final appearance for Rangers, final appearance for Scotty in a Rangers shirt. Sad to see Scotty at the end, obviously applauding, and that been it now. That isn't it. No more Scotty Arfield for Rangers. Big miss for me. Someone I think should have been offered a year's contract. I understand why he's leaving, though. He wants more game time. Links to Hearts and Aberdeen, though, unfortunately. I really do not want to see him in a burgundy or a red shirt next season. But it was a decent enough performance. Players that stood out for me today: Suter, Lundstrom. I thought Raskin did very well indeed. Battling, fighting, showed some good moments of skill, some good range of passing, good forward thrusts as well from midfield. I thought Raskin was very good. Fashion Sakala, you've obviously got to give him a nod for the 2 goals. Todd Cantwell worked hard, not up to his usual standards today, did okay. But, certainly some decent performances there. Now, we will be running a man of the match poll on the channel. Check it out on the community tab. I'll put 4 pictures up. You actually put 4 options. I don't want to let you put any more. I'll put four options up there for you to go and vote for man of the match from today's game. Please do that. Guys, one other thing, obviously, this is the final game of the season. That was the final match live stream as well. If you haven't checked out the live stream, please go and check it out. Great response today, great views today from the live stream. Brilliant to have so many people on board and so many people commenting. It was absolutely superb. Season's over now, guys. Summer's coming. Obviously, it's going to be a massive summer for Rangers. Huge summer with obviously lots of arrivals, hopefully, and some departures too. So big decisions for Michael Beale to make over the next week. Apparently, meetings with Mike Tillman and Borna Barisic over their futures and whether one of them comes to Rangers and whether one of them leaves Rangers. But, a performance today that we got the 3 points. Yes, that lot did win today, unfortunately, hammering Aberdeen, and unfortunately they did win the league. Hey, you know what? It's been a bad season for us. We're going to come back next season even stronger. 56 is going to come home, I think, next season. Get the new players in, fight hard, Michael Beale give him a full pre-season, and I think he'll turn this team into a really good team that can compete at the highest level, not only in Scotland but also in Europe as well. Like I said, decent performance today. Really pleased with the boys to get the positive result to end the season. That's what we wanted, a positive feeling going into the off-season, going into the close season. Brilliant displays in particular, obviously, like I said, by Suter, by Lundstrom, by Sakala, by Nicholas Raskin. I thought all very good today. Credit as well to Robbie McCrory. One dodgy moment where he flapped a little bit, but another clean sheet for Robbie, as he obviously seeks to prove that he is obviously worthy of the number 1 spot next year. One great save as well from Robbie in this game when he needed to. That's what you need, a goalkeeper that when he's not called upon, for ages, can then suddenly come to life and make that fantastic save. Well, guys, that's it. The end of the season. Not been a great season. We go again next season. We come back stronger. We fight harder, and we remember that we are the people.